Hello everyone! Today I want to share some tips and tricks that I wish I knew when I first started about getting on the Lyra. Alright, let's jump into it. As always, I've done my floor warm-ups, my aerial conditioning exercises, and I've laid down my crash mats. First up, we have the single knee mount. My hoop is at waist level. This is generally the first mount that is taught because it requires the least amount of strength and coordination. In this first shot, I'm using my leg to help me smoothly get into the hoop. I grab high, straighten the leg, and pull up with my arms. Leg muscles are bigger and stronger than arm muscles, so I let my leg muscles do the work when possible. Let's see how it looks when I don't use my leg. I'll also say that when you're first starting, it's entirely normal to struggle to get on the hoop. It may take a few lessons to make some progress. For this approach, I'm starting off the same way as before, grabbing high, but then I have to re-grab with my lower hand and pull with my arms until I'm sitting in the hoop. This approach relies entirely on the arms and will wear ourselves out if we do this every time we get on the hoop. Let's look at using the leg versus not using the leg again. With the clip slowed down, you can see a difference in how connected the movements look. Using the leg makes such a difference. The lower we start on the Lyra, the more important it is that we use our leg. We always want to minimize the amount of times we have to grab the hoop, and pushing with the leg helps us get higher on the hoop with one grab. Climbing the hoop with only arms is a lot of work. For the rest of the mounts, I've removed the span set so that there is more space under the hoop. My hoop is now at about chin level. The next mount I'm discussing is the Straddle Mount. I'm starting with my hands together, and since the hoop is at chin level, I'm already in a pull-up position. There are many progressions for this mount, but this version I'm showing here is with bent legs, which is often referred to as froggy to straddle. Once I'm in the straddle position, I hook my legs. If you are still working on a straddle, a great way to train them is with negatives. When you are dismounting, walk your hands between your knees, then lift back into a straddle, controlling the speed on the way down. If you are having trouble lifting back into a straddle, you can do this really awkward looking drill where you brace your feet against the hoop, then work on lifting your weight so your hips are stacked on top of your shoulders. The goal is to try to pull your chest through your arms and not rely on the feet on the Lyra. Once your hips are stacked, you can straighten your legs and control down. Now that our knees are hooked on the hoop, we'll likely want to transition to a seated position. If you are comfortable in your double knee hang, you can use a little momentum to reach higher on the hoop. Momentum is usually generated with a beat back. This is where I'll reiterate that our legs are stronger than our arms. You can see that I've reached up, straightened one leg, and then pushed down with that leg while pulling up with my arms. Let's see what it looks like when I don't use my legs. Not only does it put more strain on my arms, it doesn't look nearly as graceful. Now we'll see those clips one more time, but slowed down. One thing to note is that you can also straighten both legs instead of one for a different look. Were you taught to use your legs when getting on the hoop? Let me know in the comments below. Next up, the Trapeze Mount. Some love it, and some hate it. It's a very divisive mount. I prefer to cross my feet on the tuck through, but some people tuck through with flexed feet, as you can see me do on the dismount. If you're having trouble getting both legs through at once, you can practice bringing one leg through and then the other. You can also play around with different combinations to get a feel of the movements. Like most exercises, negatives are a great way to train if you aren't able to do the mount yet. Another version you'll see, although I wouldn't recommend it, is hooking one foot and using it to pull your body up and through your arms. If the hoop is high, this doesn't work very well, so it's more common when transitioning from sitting in the hoop to the top bar. The reason I wouldn't recommend this method is because it doesn't use the same motions as the unassisted mount. It's great if you are learning a sequence that requires a trapeze mount, but it won't get you closer to achieving yours. Last, we have the Pullover Mount. For this mount, the direction of your grip doesn't matter, so you can try both and see what you prefer. I tend to use a mixture of both. What helped me get my pullover smooth was cueing myself to bring my toes to the ground. It's what I think about from the moment my feet leave the ground. Previously, I was thinking about it in 2 steps, straight up, then down over the bar, and I kept getting stuck at that balance point. I'd have to catch the hoop with my feet and push off to get completely through the hoop. When focusing on pulling my toes to the ground, my pulling angle shifts to about 45 degrees through the hoop, rather than the close to straight up I was doing before. That angle changes enough that I can easily pull into a hip hang. If you're still working on the angle, you can separate your legs as they go through the hoop to help get you past the balance point. You can train pullovers with negatives, but I don't find negatives to be as useful for a pullover as they are for other mounts. Remember that every aerialist will become comfortable with different mounts at different times, and different tips will resonate with different people. I hope a few of these tips were helpful for you. And as a reminder, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more aerial videos, hit that subscribe button. Alright, thanks for watching!